Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you my PlayStation 4 game collection. So let's get this started. First up, I have Marvel Spider-Man. It was my first platinum on the PlayStation trophy system, and I absolutely loved this game. I didn't realize that I was gonna be loving this game that much because I'm not really like a huge fan of Spider-Man or anything like that, but I just love the game. And I also purchased the 3 add-ons that were released, and they're also great. They were expensive at the time, but now you can get the Game of the Year edition for less than $30. So it's good for that price point. Next up, I have Resident Evil 7. This was the first Resident Evil game that I played. That I ended. I played Resident Evil 4 before, but I was like really small at the time, and I just couldn't get used to the mechanics. I was just enjoying Vice City and San Andreas at that time, so I couldn't understand the mechanics. But now I'm like big enough to play this game, and I really like this game. I ended it on the toughest difficulty as well, and I highly recommend this game to everyone. I bought it full price. You can get this really cheap now. So yeah, go for it. I don't have the VR as well. I just played it on the normal PS4 and it still is amazing. Next up is the Order 1886. People really like to shit on this game. Like this was, I agree that it was really short, but I think it was just a technical showcase of the PS4. Like this is what the PS4 can achieve. It was released in 2015, early in the cycle. And I think, that was the point of this game. It was short. In certain points it was like also irritating. The stealth sections were really stupid, but all in all I really like this game, and it still is to this day one of the best looking games on the PS4. Next up is a game that I have a love and hate relationship with. That is Shadow of the Colossus. The storytelling of this game is amazing. It's I didn't expect the game to end where it did. Like the story, how it unfolded, I was not expecting that, but some of the mechanics, they're like really PS2 era still. Like it controls like a PS2 game, and sometimes it's frustrating. Like the horse mechanics are atrocious, and like we are like the spoiled generation. We are used to like picture perfect graphics and like buttery smooth controls, and you won't get that here. So yeah, be mindful of that. But I can realize how people really love this game. I'm just not one of those people. Next up is one of the worst Assassin's Creed games, Unity. I had really high expectations of this game. I bought it like really early in the. I bought it like almost for the full price. I didn't get it I didn't get it day one. I got it in the first month. It was still almost full price. It was just it was like 3,000 some rupees. I'm from India, so I bought it in rupees, but it was still really expensive, like $50 or something. I paid for it, and it was not worth it at all. They released a lot of patches, and even to this day this game can't run properly on the PS4. I played it on the PC, and it's alright on the PC now. So if you have a PC, you should play this game over there. You don't need a very powerful rig to run it. Just a medium rig would do far better job than a PS4 or an Xbox One. Next up is a disappointment, I would say, and that is Andromeda. Everyone knows how pathetic this game was when it launched. It still is. They released a 4 gig patch for the game, and the animations are still really bad. I think this game is bad on the surface level. You can't do it by releasing virtual solutions like updates and all. So I would say if you're a big fan, you will be disappointed. This was my first Mass Effect game. I was really hooked because the original series was released when I was like the original game was released when I was like 9 or 10 years old, and I didn't realize what an RPG was and how you were supposed to play it. So I never really paid attention to it. But I saw the trailers for this and I was like, okay, this looks really cool. You get to explore. The graphics are amazing. There's one thing that what they showed, like the graphics are good, but the animations, everyone knows, they're like laughable. So just play it it's just really cheap, so you can get it that way. But still, it's not worth it. It's not worth your time. Next up is Evil Within. I bought it used. It was like really cheap, and it's just not my kind of game. I couldn't get into it. It was just hard, and I don't know, it was just difficult to play, it was not interesting to me, so I just gave up on it. Next up is a game that pretty surprised me. I really like Quantic Dream as a studio, and they release those like narrative games, and wherein you're not in the heat of the action, you're not controlling the character fully, you're just like taking part in the journey and deciding how it pans out. It's one of those games, and it's a cliched American story where a bunch of teenagers go to a cabin in the woods and do ridiculous things, and your choices do affect how the game ends. But I think there was a really big disconnect between the first half and the second half of the game. Like the story, like it was an unexpected game. Like I didn't expect it to end where it did. So yeah, but all in all, it was a good game. Next up is Uncharted 4. It's a masterpiece. It's one of those games that deserve all the hype and all the affection that it gets. I just love it. I've played it a lot of times, and it was like hard for me to say that any game could beat the level of amazingness that was in Uncharted 2, but I'd say that this game is my favorite of the series. Speaking of Uncharted, I have the Nathan Drake collection. I have these games on my PS3. I had to buy them on the PS4, and you should too, because like 2 and 3 already were amazing looking games on the PS3 itself, but the first one had its it was kind of rough around the edges, and it needed some work. It needed some work to look good at least, and they really worked this game nicely for the PS4. 2 and 3 are like almost the same as they were on the PS3, but one is kind of it kind of differs a lot from what it was, and they all run at a very smooth 60 FPS, so you won't have a problem there. So yeah, go for them. They're really cheap now. You can get them for like under $20 for 3 masterclass games. Next up is a very hard game, Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus. I played the first one on my laptop, and I didn't expect it to be that good. Like the whole technology and the Nazis winning the war and everything, it was amazing. And this game is a continuation. The story and everything, and the graphics are quite good in this game. But it's like hard as fuck, man. Like I died in this game. Like I died twice as much in this game as I would in I died like twice as much in this game than I would in any other Call of Duty game. Like they're also first person shooters, but even in the normal difficulty, this game can kick your ass. I died like not hundreds, but I died a lot in this game. It's hard on the normal difficulty as well, but it's quite good. The payoff is nice. The ending is quite nice. Next up is Ratchet and Clank, and I also played the new one. I think it's called Youngblood on PC, and it's shit. Don't fucking buy that game. It's a disappointment. Next up is a game that I didn't expect to like. I didn't expect that I would like that much, but I did. That is Ratchet and Clank. It's one of those it's a platformer. I don't really play these kind of games, and I was like, okay, it was quite cheap when I saw it, and I was like, okay, let's go for it. And I was not disappointed. Like even like it has those like Pixar graphics, and it still looks like better than a lot of the games coming out right now. Like the quality of the graphic, the art style and everything is just amazing in this game. And also the story, I also like the story as well. I didn't expect to like this game that much, to be honest, but I did, and you should go for it. And the new one is also announced, and I'm really looking forward to it on the PS5. Next up is Watch Dogs 2. I really like this game. I didn't like the first one at all. I was like really hyped up for the first one, and Ubisoft did a number on us. Like I was fucking pissed. Like when I got the game, I bought it on the PS3 because I didn't have the PS4 at the time. In 2013, I think. No, I had the PS4 at the time, but I bought it for I don't remember. I bought the first one on the PS3, that I know, but I hated it. The graphics were atrocious, nowhere near what they showed in the in the original videos, or the whatever they were doing for the game, it was nowhere near. The first one was extremely bad. The story was, it was lackluster. It didn't have that hacker charm that I was expecting, even though I realized if it would be a kind of like a monotonous tale of like sadness and everything, and I turned out correct. And I just didn't like the first one, but this one is quite good. It has that geeky culture of the Silicon Valley that you expect from hackers, and I really like this game. And the third one is coming. I'm looking forward to it, even though I'm kind of skeptical about the third one, because I don't know. It's just the plays anyone mechanic. I don't know. It's not just ringing my bells. Next up is Titanfall 2. You won't like if you buy this game now. I bought it in 2015 itself, and I played a lot of multiplayer also for this game, and I really loved it. It's much better than the exo shit that Call of Duty pulls or used to pull. And even the single player, if you're buying this now, you won't be disappointed, because it's really cheap right now, and you get like a single player story it's short. Obviously, it's like 5 or 6 hours long at the most, but it's good. It's not like like a half-assed Call of Duty story. It's just there for it's just there because it has to. It has you'll feel the work that has been put. Like, you'll not think that okay, they're just half-assing it. It's a good single player story, and you would be only playing single player for it now, because I think you won't get any matches. I haven't been online for a long time for this game. I think I will now, because I want to. Next up is Drive Club. It's written not to be sold separately, but I got it. I got it really cheap. I played it once. I never really played it again, so I don't know much about this game. Next up is Second Son. It's amazing. I liked Infamous 2 a bit more, but it was one of the first games that I bought for the PS4, so I have this attachment to it. But it's not bad by any stretch of the imagination, but it's just a bit, it was like, I don't know, it's okay. Next up is God of War 3 Remastered. What can I say about this game? It was one of my favorite games on the PS3, and it already looked really good on the PS3. It used to run somewhere around 40-45 FPS on the PS3, but now it runs at about very smooth 60 FPS. You won't notice a paradigm shift in the graphics compared to PS3, but it still is the great game of the era. Next up is Detroit Become Human. This was my second platinum trophy, and it's Quantic Dream. As I said, I really like these people games. I played Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls on the PS3. Heavy Rain was one of my favorite games on the PS3, and I had to buy Detroit, and I still like Heavy Rain more, but it was a very mature story. It was really, really mature, and it was kind of controversial at certain points, but it still is a very nice game. The graphics are amazing, and your choices do matter. There are a lot of endings to this game, and I got them all. Next up is perhaps my favorite game of all time, I'd say, Horizon Zero Dawn. I waited for the complete edition. Not waited, I didn't have money at the time, because I was joining college, and I my parents were like, okay, you're now going to college and everything, so I didn't buy this game when it got launched, and I bought it afterwards, and I also got a platinum in this. I have over 100 hours logged into this game. I did everything. I have everything. I even did ultra hard on New Game Plus, because it was just an itch that I wanted to scratch. There was a trophy associated with it, and I was like, fuck it, I'll get it. And it's just amazing. I didn't expect to I was really hyped up for it when I saw the trailers, but I didn't expect that I'd like this game that much, to be honest. It's amazing. It's one of the best games ever made. Next up is The Last of Us Remastered. I have this on the PS3 as well. It's it already looked great on the PS3. I don't think they did a lot of work as far as the graphics are concerned, but it does run at a very nice 60 FPS on the PS4. On the PS3, it used to struggle even maintaining 30 FPS, which is to be expected because the graphics were amazing for the time. This game still looks quite good, and I think it's a bit like overrated, but it's not bad by any stretch of the imagination. But I think it's just not worthy of the heaps of praise that it gets. Next up is a game that I bought for PC first. It was shit on the PC, then I bought it for the Xbox One, and because it was very cheap, I bought it for the PS4 as well. Arkham Knight. It's an okay game. It's a good game, not okay. It's a good game, but I didn't like the Batmobile mechanics at all. Initially, it was like quite cool to when you see the Batmobile for the first time, and you realize, okay, fuck it, yeah, I'm gonna be driving the Batmobile. But it gets old pretty quickly. Everyone knows that now. I still think Arkham City was the pinnacle for the series, but this game is quite good as well. Next up is Infinite Warfare. It's amazing. Oh no, it's not amazing, sorry. I was thinking about something else. I was thinking about Battlefield 1. Yeah, Infinite Warfare. Yeah, it's a multiplayer. I didn't play multiplayer for it at all because I was already burned out from Ghosts and Advanced Warfare with all the exo shit and everything. So I was not into it. And also I also played a lot of multiplayer for Black Ops 3, which was also modern and exo and everything. But single player is surprisingly good. I played single player recently. I never really picked up this game. I bought it in 2017, I think, a year after it was released, and I just played a couple of hours of the single player, and I didn't play it. But recently during the lockdown, I was like, okay, let's play Infinite Warfare, and it's surprisingly good. Single player is it's good. Next up is Lost Legacy. It's a good game. I really like I didn't think that Uncharted would work for me without Nathan Drake, but these two characters really pull it off, Nadine and Chloe, and some of the set pieces are among the best in the series. Like, they compete with the best set pieces, and it's obvious that Naughty Dog never really half-assed their games, but yeah, it's a good game. You can buy it pretty cheap now, so yeah, go for it. Okay, sorry, I have so a few games that I bought online as well, like oh sorry, I also have Red Dead Redemption 2. I forgot about it. Yeah, I also have Red Dead Redemption 2. It's amazing. It was a bit slow. I bought it day one. It was a bit slow, and it got kind of it overstayed its welcome for me a little bit. But the graphics, the first time I played this game, I was like, okay, how is the PS4 doing this? Like, the graphics and everything, they were amazing. They still are, I think The Last of Us 2 has better graphics, but yeah, this is one of the best games of our generation. I also have God of War for the PS4, but I lended it to one of my friends, and I also had The Last of Us Part 2, but I recently sold it because I didn't like that game, and I ended it once, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna play that game again. So I was getting a good price, so I just sold it. Okay, so now I also have a few online games, like The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. I recently bought this game because it was very cheap, and I ended it a couple of days back. It's amazing. I played that game on PC, a long time back. I didn't finish it. I was like, yeah. But now, since I have a lot of free time because of the lockdown and everything, my college is closed. So I poured in 70-80 hours in the game, and I recently finished it. And it's one of the best RPGs of all time, and I do understand the praise of this game now. I recently purchased Grand Theft Auto 5 as well for the PS4. I got it for the PS3, I got it for the PC. It was really cheap on the PlayStation Store, so I bought it. And it's amazing, it's one of the best games of all time. Next up is Far Cry 5. I also recently got it from the store. Nowadays PlayStation Store is providing really nice deals, so I'm buying my games online. And I got it for less than 600 rupees. That's less than $10. and I really like that game. I really like this game. I played Far Cry 4. I didn't like that. I didn't like that game a lot, but this game I like quite a bit. Next up is Resident Evil 2. You know, this is better than Resident Evil 7, to be honest. It's like I played it once, then I started off with Leon's story, then I played the second time I played with, the second new game that they have, I played Leon first, Claire second, and then I played Claire first, Leon second, and I did them, in one go. Like, that's the amount of love that I have for this game, even though a lot of the story sections overlap in all the stories, but I didn't get bored of it. So yeah, go for it. Also have Metro Exodus. This is a disappointment, to be honest. I didn't like this game that much. I was like really hyped up for it because I really like these games. The Metro Redux. I especially like the Last Light one. Metro 2033 was okay. Last Light was amazing. Last Light is now one of my favorite first-person shooters of all time. I didn't expect that game to be that good. But yeah, after Last Light, Exodus was a disappointment, to be honest. And I don't know, it's just I didn't finish it. I was like, I got burnt out, like I just didn't like that. Next up I have Council. I kicked myself because I bought Council episode 1 and I got it for like $5, like 300 rupees or something, but it's free now. Like a few days after I bought it, it was free, so I kicked myself for not waiting. I also have Murdered Soul Suspect. It's an okayish game. Some of the story was quite nice, but I think they didn't really pay a lot of attention to the gameplay side of things. So this game got kind of boring towards the end. Not boring. It kind of got repetitive towards the, not even end, towards the beginning. Like in the middle of the game, it got boring. I also have Journey. I got it free. Sony provided Journey and Uncharted, all the 3 Uncharted games free because of the lockdown and everything. And I had the Uncharted CD, so I didn't download that, but I downloaded Journey. Played it once, didn't understand because I'm not a Christian. I looked it up online. It's preaching something. I didn't understand the story still, but yeah, it's okay. So yeah, that's it. These are all the games that I have for my PS4. I only have a 500 gig system, so I only have these games in my. I only have the games that I downloaded on my PS4 currently. But yeah, I'm planning to buy a hard disk very soon. So yeah, thanks a lot guys for watching the video, and yeah, peace out.